great deals. In fact, Tony and Sean both said they've lived in California all their life. They've never done a single deal in California because the deals weren't good enough. They didn't like the 5-year redemption in California. What Jack does is he says, hey, I'm not going to even go to the county and deal with all that stuff. I'm going to send out mailers, postcards, and if they do happen to be in a problem, and they are going to go into foreclosure, and it is going to turn into a tax deed, lien, or whatever, I'm going to get to them before that happens. We're going to work something out, and I won't have to worry about a 5-year redemption because I'm going to buy it before there's ever a problem. He said, in fact, 68% of all the properties that he buys never had any kind of problem at all. He just put mailers out there, and he got really good deals. Yeah, some of them did have a problem. Some of them were behind on taxes, but he could go through and get those problems solved before it got auctioned off, and he didn't have to worry about a 5-year redemption. So, you know, you do different things in different states, you just have to know what the laws are. And if you do start to foreclose for any reason, you should have an attorney in that state who knows, in fact, right in that county, who knows all the rules and regulations. It's going to cost you anywhere from $500 to a couple thousand to go through the foreclosure process. But if it's a tax lien, you probably got it cheap enough that it's going to be worth it. And if it's raw land, you got a land contract, you're not going to have to deal with that at all, unless you're doing it in California. I wouldn't even waste my time doing an owner finance in California. Who wants to go through the hassle? There's plenty of places to do it.
You don't need to finance. All you do is lease it to them until it's paid for, then they pay $1 and they own it.
Exactly. If they buy it, if they actually pay it off,
but lease it, not a purchase.
you could lease
They
it.
have the right to buy it at the end of the lease.
Just like a standard lease option.
And then you don't have the problems.
Yep, in California you can do that. Lease it instead of doing a land contract. Yeah. That's a good idea.
I had that on the property here on State Street. I leased the property for 10 years at $1,000 a month, and I sublet it for $1,956.72.
And didn't even own it, and you
Didn't
made
own
the
it,
cash
didn't have
difference.
any taxes, didn't have any insurance problems.
I like that. That's why we got this recorded, so we can go back and listen to this over again and go, now, what did he say? What did he say?
Can you repeat it?
You want to repeat that?
You don't want to sell it. Well, you mean the what property that I had on State Street? I rented a piece of property to move into business, and I got home, my wife said, well, that was a dumb thing to do. I said, why is that? She said, well, there's not enough parking. I said, well, there's parking across the street. Anyway, so I decided to advertise, and I sublet it for 10 years. I made almost double what I paid for monthly, so I got a check and I sent a check. And I also added on the taxes and maintenance on the sublet, but I didn't have to pay that on my rental. So I made about $120,000 over 10 years for no investment.
Never even had to buy it.
Huh?
Never even had to buy it.
Never had to buy
That's
it.
good. Yeah.
That's exactly, that's a business. I mean, there's a guy in North Torrance that did the same thing. He bought a tilt-up building. I'm sorry, he leased a tilt-up building for 30 years.
Can you talk a little louder, Kim? It's really hard to hear.
He bought he leased a tilt-up building for 30 years at X amount of dollars. It was a low amount, $2,000 to $3,000 a month. He rehabilitated the whole building, split it into executive offices, leased it out, and he was making, I don't know, $15,000 a month for 30 years. He never, I don't think he ever bought the building. This was years ago.
That was commercial property.
Commercial property.
And right
That's done all the
now,
time.
right now is a great time to try to do that again,
Absolutely.
because commercial properties are just going down, down, down. They've got a lot of problems financially. So that's a great thing to do. We're going to take a quick listen to somebody I interviewed when I was out there at Jack Bosch's event. So this was out in Los Angeles. This was just a few weeks ago. And
yeah, definitely.
200 people
Dan
there.
Ringwald, Santa Barbara Real Estate Investors Association, and I've got Derek here. Derek, what's your first and last name?
Derek Keepers from the Rancho Cucamonga, California. We've been doing Jack Bosch's land investing system for 3 months, and we're started a website, yourusaland.com, and we've got 13 properties total. We got 11 we own and 13 under contract total. Doing pretty well so far.
Excellent, excellent. And so you've only been in the program for 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
Wow, how did you originally find out about it?
We go to Steve Love's meeting over in LA, and then we just saw the freebie seminar and signed up for the one-day class he had back in May. And we kind of got hooked on the idea of, a little cash out of pocket and good returns, kind of irresistible.
Have you been doing other types of investing before this?
This is my first type of investing. My mentors have done, single-family houses, apartments. They've been in the game for a while, but as far as me, this is my first time, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it is. Sounds like a great place to be starting out.
Definitely.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I wish you the best, and we'll be back in contact. Thank you so much for the interview.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
But he was doing land, wasn't he?
Land. This was Jack Bosch's thing for land. And so he had mentioned his website. So I thought, well, what did he say? And I went back and I took a look at his website. This is what he's done in 3 months. Like 13 properties. He created this little website for land, USA Land. It's the SEC. Quick! I had that private funding. Okay, so here's his website.
I'm Derek Ringwald. Thank you for visiting USALand.com, where we make the American dream of land ownership easy and affordable. Whether you like to vacation, retire, or invest, we've got the land for you. And if you have a piece of land you'd like to sell, we're ready to make you a cash offer now. As you browse our website, be sure to check out the featured property below, as well as our land for sale page at the link above. And if you'd like to receive emails whenever we're listing new properties, just click on the RSS button at the top of the land for sale page. Finally, be sure to follow us. I'm Derek Ringwald. Thanks again for visiting USALand.com.
3 months. I thought that was pretty impressive for somebody. He's a school teacher just starting off. It's kind of like, hey, that's not bad for just starting off in 3 months. So, again, if you have properties, if you start doing this kind of stuff and you want a place for this, you can always list it at NHBID, this site that I showed you earlier, or you can go out and make your own website. Doesn't make any difference. The main thing is you're going to need some place to drive people on Craigslist, the newspaper, whatever else, back to your information, and away you go. So, if you're at all interested in this, you come back to our website, main website, Santa Barbara REIA, go to education. All the information that Jack Bosch spoke about at our meeting is here. Click on that, everything's there. Would you listen to it? If you like it, you want to get back and purchase it, you can just click on purchase here, and away you go. Okay? $14.97. Okay, so that's a land profit generator, and I see that as we've been in a situation where the market's down, they can't build because building is more expensive than just rehabbing these houses and getting back in line. But right now, in different places, builders are starting to pick up these properties cheap because they know in another 5 years the market's going to be back and they're going to start building. So if you can locate these properties and locate the builders, they're a good source to get the properties to. Okay. So one of the things that Jack mentioned in his seminar was Agent Pro 24/7. Now he was talking about how do you farm, how do you get information out to these people to get offers on their properties and get them back. There's a lot of ways to do it. And he mentioned 10 or 12 different ways to do it, but every time he said, but I just use Agent Pro 24/7. And after he said it 50 times, I went, geez, why would you waste your time doing anything else? If the guy who's really good at doing this is so sold on Agent Pro 24/7, why wouldn't you just go out and do it? So when I got back, I took a look at this program, and it's the basic price for the program is $20 a month. That's pretty cheap to start off, $20 a month. So I went there to the sign up, started signing up, and I got halfway through the